Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Strong Talk, but only a strong survive. Y'all come in. Y'all come in. Y'all know it's Monday. I done got myself together. Y'all come in. We getting started. Hey, sis. Hey, brother. Y'all like, comment, and share. I'm on morning, brother. Love you so much. I got a thought this morning. Your sister got a thought this morning. I got on my good glasses. This is my glasses so I can really see what's going on. Britt, you had me falling out when you messaged me this morning. Anyway, let's get started. Welcome to the Strong Talk, where only the strong survive. I have a thought. So I really wanted to, I was toggling between two titles or topics, but it's a thought that came to mind. The initial thought was going to be with what you know, but I felt to change it and call it the smear campaign. And what we're dealing with now in this time and dispensation is people who literally want to hold you to your past. We're going to talk about that this morning, because some things we have done in our past, if you be honest, some things haunt us. But some of us have made some changes in our life, and we're grateful, and maybe even gone through therapy, through levels of deliverance, different things, just different adjustments that we made in our life to where you don't have to write the whole nothing over my head. But I have to come on here because I don't know if all of you realize that people don't have that right. Especially because people oftentimes try to think they got a heaven and hell to put you through, whether you did it or not. And most of you know I lost, my auntie this weekend. And I remember stories being told that she told me down through the years. Family, just different, how family is different things that happen in the family. But one thing that I know is at her homegoing, all I heard was wonderful things about her. And I got a thought. And I said, all of us go through different things in life. All of us, every single one of us. Some of us have done some things we're not proud of. And guess what? It's okay. We got to give ourselves a little bit of grace. Some things happen because of what happened to us. Some things happen because of insecurities. Some things happen because you're trying to get back. We got some people that just want to fight on their own. They got to get the person back. Things happen for various reasons. But who are we? Who are we to hold stuff over people's head? I'm reminded of this one guy I was dating in college, right? I was really, really into him. And I was green. But I was into him. He was dogging my tail out. Dogging my tail out. You hear me? But I didn't want to see it, and I was believing what he was saying to me. All of my friends were telling me, like, girl, let me tell you something. He ain't no good. This, and this, and that. And I'm just like, no, he loves me. He da-da-da-da-da. Well, it took several years. I'm talking about several years of me looking like a fool. Fool. Before one day, one of his, sisters on campus, somebody who was really close to, literally had a talk with him. I was like, yo, you gotta tell her the truth. Because she realized just from looking at me who I was, and that I wasn't that type of person. You know what I mean? I wasn't a vicious person. Maybe she saw I was green. Maybe she just felt as a woman that I didn't deserve the treatment that he was giving me. Well, things started coming out, and I still didn't want to see it. One of the things that came out is he had a baby. The girl came to me. It was crazy work. Well, eventually he did apologize, but I was still, if I be honest, I was still broken because of it. It was years, I'm talking about years later, that he reached out to me before he got married. He was like, the Spirit of the Lord. Now, mind you, I've been talking to him. He was a PK. I've been talking to him about church and all this stuff while we, on campus and stuff like that. And he came, he said, I feel like I can't even go into this marriage without really calling and first of all, apologizing to you. I cried so bad. I wasn't expecting it or anything, but his apology did something for me. Why am I giving you this story? Because some of us do got to go back and apologize for some things that we did. We got to forgive ourselves, and we also got to open up our mouth and apologize. Why? Because we want forgiveness, but yet we don't want to give forgiveness. We want, when we come up into, I'm better, I'm doing better, you don't have a right, because then I start off with that, people don't have a right to do a smear campaign on you and this and that. We got to give that same type of grace. But sometimes we don't want to give it, especially depending upon what was done to us. If we be honest, some things that were done, you feel like it's unforgivable. Some things that were done to our family members, you feel like it's unforgivable. But when you come on to the side of Christ, you realize if you go back in your own mind to different things that you've done, you don't have a right to hold certain things over people's head. You give a level of grace. I'm reminded of one of the men that was on the cross. Remember, it was two men that was behind Jesus on the cross. And we could have said, oh, you did this, you did that, you supposed to die, da-da-da-da-da. God made the say, Jesus, he said, you'll be with me in paradise. Now, us theologians will say, well, he wasn't baptized. He wasn't speaking in tongues. We don't have that history on him. He didn't, repent before the people and all this and all that. But Jesus said, you're going to be with me in paradise. He knew who he was. But when you change your heart and when you make a decision to change, the problem is a lot of people are out here trying to paint pictures of stuff that they are not. Do you know the most effective person is the honest person? Is the one that's truthful, the one that says, I'm imperfect, saved by grace. I didn't save myself. The preacher can't save you. Me and these strong talks, I can't save you. All I can do is give you tools. But I want us to come out of the bondage of the place where people try to hold stuff over our head because of what we did in a very low season, a low space. Some of us, because of low self-esteem, have engaged in things that we should not have engaged in. We didn't know who we were. So we did certain things. So people want to hold it over your head. Do you know there are some people, I remember, I got stories for days. This one guy I was talking to, I should be a relationship specialist at this point. Because I can tell you for yourself, y'all pray for me. Because my heart just be blind. Just pray for me. It's fine. I got people pray for me if you want. But I remember when I made up my mind, I said, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I got to come out of this. And this guy wanted to keep me in that place so bad. He went and made I got witnesses. I got receipts. He made a whole Facebook page on me. And just so he could try to make me stay with him, I had to say, you know what? He could do whatever it is he want to do. I'm out of here. And I want to let you know, when you go to the side of right, there is a process. But in the end, you're going to get to your expected end. You will reach there. But you got to make the decision to not allow people to hold your past over your head, especially if you have been making and doing the work to change. They don't have that right. And we don't have that right. If we want forgiveness, some of us got some things we really need some forgiveness from God for. And do you know that God, when you ask for forgiveness, God forgives you. It is us. It is our mind. It is our memory that makes us hold on to things long. And we feel like we're in a place where we can't be forgiven. We're in a place where we can't do any better. Well, I'm reminded through my Aunt Barbara, through the different phases that she went through in life, that she graduated to a space. Well, when I tell you her family, her friends, I witnessed as one of her nieces, literally, I witnessed her change her entire life and impact her whole family and community. It can be done. My old pastor, Apostle Marguerite Winley, before she went on to be with the Lord, she said, you can outlive a lie. She told me a story, and she always would say, I love stories. She always would tell me stories. And we would sit there, and she said, I'm repetitive because I'm a pastor. And sometimes I'd be like, Pastor, I already heard this story. But now I understand, now that she's gone on to be with the Lord, because these stories stand up before me like it is right now, like the story I'm about to tell you, in the time that I needed the most. When she finally decided she wanted to get saved, she had a sister at the time that wasn't saved. And she was upstairs. And she was laid up with her man and shacking and stuff like that. Well, she got saved one day. And then she went up there and said, you Jezebel, you going to hell. And her sister cussed her from the top to the bottom. And she ran downstairs crying. Her mother pulled her to the side, set her at the table and said, Are you the same, called a sissy? Are you the same sissy that just slept with somebody? Are you the same sissy that used to do this, and that? Are you the same sissy that used to fight in church? Are you the same sissy that just yesterday was drinking liquor? Are you the same? She was running a whole page. And guess what Pastor said? I'm not her no more. I'm not her no more. She said, well, your sister don't know that. She only know you as what you have done up until this time. And then you going to walk up there and tell her this, and that. She said, And she was saying that to say, yes, you make mistakes. Yes, you have done some things you're not proud of, but you got to live this thing. You got to live this thing out. But you can change your life, and you can outlive a lie. I don't care. I'm talking about spear campaigns. I don't care what do they call it? Receipts anybody has on you. All you got to do is make a shift. All you got to do is make a change. That's all you got to do. And I'll probably say it until I'm blue in the face. And y'all know me for saying this. Look, I'm all up in the camera now. Y'all know me for saying this. All you got to do is change your mind. When you start changing your mind, everything from the mind down starts to come into alignment. It's medical. It's psychological. I promise you, there is a broken heart syndrome. When people break your heart, it tears you up in your mind, tears you up. It can literally cause physical manifestations. Many of us are so jacked up because you're around the people that want to hold you hostage to where you've been. You got to go where people are going to help to push you to where you're going. You got to get connected with a community, with whatever you need to be able to push to the next level. You can't stay in the things that you've done. I don't care if it's receipts. I don't care. I know people who have people put videos out on them. This very same people who lied to them. People will literally try to set you up because of the anointing that is upon your life. You may not see who you are. You may not see it. It's just like the 3 Hebrew boys in the fire. Those from the outside said, well, who's the other person that's in there? Christ is with you. Jesus is with you. You might can't see it in the moment because you're in the heat of the situation. The fire is burning. I promise you, you might can't see it. But when you graduate to the place when you can accept who you are in God, and you can accept what he says about you. That's why you got to know your word. We may not sometimes have confidence in ourselves, but I'm reminded of David when he said sometimes you got to encourage yourself in the Lord. If you are in a state of dysfunction in your family, if you are just evaluate yourself, a state of dysfunction in your personal life, if you are in a state where people are trying to hold your past over your head, you can break free from that. I don't care if it happened yesterday. You can break free. Make the change. Trust the process. And God will bring you to your expected end. You'll get there. But you got to make the movement. You got to release. I don't care if it's word curses that were spoken about you as a child. Do you know some people, good morning, my love. Some people literally because of their brokenness will speak things because of anger. Do you know how many mothers, I've been watching that. Y'all watch that Straw. Good God of mercy. We'll talk about that another day. Anyway, different things in your life, different experiences and circumstances will cause you sometimes. Some of us children are innocent bystanders to the trauma of our parents. Innocent bystanders to the trauma of those we chose to lay with. We are innocent bystanders. And things were said out of them people's mouth when they were broken and when they are hurt. And our crazy tail want to sit there and believe it instead of going back through therapy, through even in our mind to realize. That's why things come out years later. You're like, oh my gosh. I promise you, I didn't know we was broke. Because all I knew is grandma, mommy, they made a way. And we had what we needed to have. All I know, I remember, let me tell you something about my Aunt Barbara. That's my heart right there. We didn't live in these big homes and stuff like that. Half of us come from the park, from the hood. what's the name of that place? In Edgewood Village, things like that. But I promise you, when you stepped into her home, you felt like you were in Dubai. You felt like you were in a castle. I learned from that. What did I learn? I don't have to be. So the whole area might be gunshots everywhere. Poverty all around me. But I can make a decision not to have my immediate environment like that. Y'all better take it. I'm telling you, that thing has blessed me down through the years. Because it didn't matter. It didn't matter what was going on around her. She did what she had to do. I'm reminded, I'm talking about my auntie. Y'all gonna get some help off of this morning. I remember I wasn't married at the time, and I wanted to be married so bad. And my Aunt Barbara, she was old. I think maybe in her 60s. Her children, her grandchildren can correct me. But she was older. And she got swept off her feet. And she was married at an older age. I remember telling my mother, there's hope for all of us, including me. Because you think you might know how something's going to pan out, but you never know. I remember her getting married in her older years after dealing with abusive situations. But God brought her to her expected end. That's why you got people in your life who you see have made a change. Take that as a lesson. Grab a hold of that. So the problem is you got too many people that want to keep you as a crab in a barrel. We ain't never going to get no better. It's going to always be like this. No, it won't. First of all, the word of God says this. Second of all, if I want to reign with him, I got to suffer with him, but I'm going to be all right. Because in the end, I'm going to be good. So all these smear campaigns that's going on behind the scenes, is going on in the church, I call it friendly fire amongst one another for those that want to keep you in a dysfunctional relationship, saying, yeah, I'll tell people this, I'll tell people that. Okay, well, you'll be surprised to know the other people in marriage have gone through that too. And guess what? They've overcome and come out. You're not going to hold me in a place. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to continue to treat me any kind of way as a overlook me, do me dirty, and I'm just going to sit there. I'm not. That's why I thank God. You got to have praying friends. I know the prayers of the righteous availeth much. You hear me what I say? You got to have leaders that's going to pray for you and cover you even in your dysfunction to get out of it. So this week, whatever the smear campaign is, if you are creating your own smear campaign in your mind, release it. Release it and push forward. Nobody has the power or ability to hold you back once you step into God. Once you step into who he called and ordained you to be. So I'm telling you this week, tell your family, tell your friends, share this live. Do what you want, devil. I'm out of here. Do what you want. I'm out. You're not going to hold me there. I'm out of here. Smear what you want. Maybe I did do it. I decided I'm not going to do it anymore. I decided I wanted to change. It's that simple. Oh, you hurt me. I apologize. Please accept my sincere apology. In my broken place, I did that. Actually, at first, I wanted to get back at you because something. But I apologize. Please forgive me. I'm out. I love y'all. Have a great week.